guys, happy Friday. I'm back again with some more fun with shells, except I've got a visitor over my back this time, my little zebra. I've changed my garage around a bit, so now I'm on the opposite side, and you've got my zebra in the background. Oh, my husband's work pants hanging up and the ironing that I've got to do for him, but I'll get to that eventually. It can wait. Okay, so today, I've got 6 shells with a surprise shell again picked out to show you. These shells, 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. No, 3 of those were my grandmother's shells, and the others I either bought or I have some fantastic little story about one of the shells here, which is my surprise shell. If you remember last week, I was talking about the Conus marmorius, your long cone shell. Oh, not too long. About that big, he's really dark with the black and the white spots. Everybody's seen one of those. And I was talking about one that I had, how they can sometimes come in an orange colour. Well, I'm going to show you him after. But anyway, we'll start off with, first of all, I'm going to start off with this little cutie pie. This one here is actually called a Cypgirl Zonaria pyrum. Now, you may have seen these before, I don't know, but they are the most gorgeous, gorgeous orange colour. And they've got like a rusty colour on top, and then they've got this beautiful colour of orange all around the sides and underneath. That's the data sticking out of this one. Now, this one was one of my grandma's shells, so very dear to me, this shell. They've got like a rusty sort of a colour on top with a creamy, even slight tinge of yellow on them. They're gorgeous, these shells. Now, this one is nice and shiny, so he was actually found live. So that's why he's nice and shiny now. These guys can go from 17 mil up to about 52 mil or 5.2 centimetres. Their other name is a pear cowrie. Pears aren't usually orange, but I suppose they're like the shape of a pear. These guys are found over near the Mediterranean Sea, Southwest Africa, Morocco, Malta, Greece, and this little fella, Turkey. Gobble, gobble. That's where they're found. So he's a beautiful one. He's a nice collector shell, and that's why he's in my collection, and I won't get rid of him, and he was my grandma's, so cute little shell. I didn't measure this one. This one's probably about 2.5, 3 centimetres. So that's the Cypgirl Zonaria pyrum or pear cowrie. Okay, so next shell. Now, you guys may have seen with my canvas work and my images on my shell art canvas images, my next one, this one was actually my grandma's as well. Love him to bits and got some really good images of him. So yeah, this is probably one of my favorites. It's up there with my favorites. This little prickly guy is called, I don't know whether anybody would know, a Hexaplex nigritas. Beautiful, beautiful shell. He is actually part of the Murex family. A lot of the Murex shells, as you all probably know, are the little spiky, prickly little buggers. And he's no different. He's got quite a lot of spikes on him. Now, these guys go from about 75 mil up to 200 mil, so about 7 centimetres up to 20 centimetres. This one here's only about 6 or 7 centimetres, so he's only a baby one. He's got the most beautiful face on him. Look at that. The detail is just gorgeous. And the colours, from blacks to whites to a light pink on his little tip there to, you know, rusty colours. He's my favourite, and I've got some really good images of him that I've taken for my canvas work. So if anybody would love a canvas with this little guy on it, just let me know. I've got heaps of images. Now, these guys are actually endemic to the Gulf of Mexico. That's where they come from. You won't find them anywhere else, just around the Gulf of Mexico. And they're also they've got another name, and I've never really heard them called by this name, but I looked this up yesterday. They're called a Northern Radix, Radix. But I like Hexaplex. That sounds better. Really pretty. So that's one of my favourites. This one, once again, was my grandma's. Never get rid of him. These are quite common. They're not uncommon. I've seen a lot of them, but a lot of them, they're beach worn, and their patterns and that on them aren't so good because they've been worn away. But I've been lucky enough to get a really good one. So Hexaplex nigritus, everybody. That's who that little prickly little bugger is. Okay, now the next shell we're doing, you may have all seen one of these too. They're quite pretty. This one you may have seen before. They're quite common in photos and whatnot. These ones are called a Babylonia spirata. They've got quite detail in the front here. It's very gorgeous shell. You can see the detail of the spire and the spirals there of how they have formed. Now these guys grow from about 5 centimetres up to about 6.5 centimetres. They are part of the sea snail family, actually, and these guys are found around Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Taiwan. Yeah, this one was my grandma's as well, so happy to keep him. They're quite common. They're not an uncommon shell. It's very hard to hold these and show you in great detail. Hopefully he won't fall off. Where is he? So that is a Babylonia spirata. There you go. Okay, so that's shell number 3. So shell number 4 we've got today. And this one's good for all you nanas out there. This one's actually called a Cassis nana. N-A-N-A, Cassis nana. These guys are little Aussie shells. They're only found in Australia. You won't find them anywhere else. They're similar to your Cassis, or your big Cassis, like Fibmiratas, I think they're called. They look like those, but these little ones only go to about 65 mil or 6 centimetres. This one's about 5 centimetres, so it's up there in the size, but they're only tiny. So they're like a little miniature helmet shell, actually. If you can see, they've got the back on them like a helmet shell. You know, the big helmet shells that come in huge. I've got a big one in my cupboard. So these guys are found from Townsville all the way down to Trial Bay in New South Wales, wherever that is. Apparently they're very rare to find on the beach. You can find the occasional dead one, but normally these guys have got to be trawled live to get them. So yeah, I would say that's how. This one's actually shiny. He's got a shiny underneath, so I'd say he was trawled live. I don't have the data for him of exactly where he was found, but he was one of my grandma's, so I don't care where he was found. I've actually got 2 of these. I've got another smaller one, but I'm only going to show you the bigger one. So yeah, when you look at them like that, they look like the big helmet shell. So these little pretty ones are called Cassis nana. For all the nanas out there, there's your shell, nanas. There's a shell named after you. Okay, moving right along. We're going to shell number 5 now. This one's a nice one, and you probably all have seen one of these too. This one I purchased, so this one hasn't got great sentimental value to me, but I still like it. This one is called a Mitra papillus. He's a bit of a big shell, as you can tell, with whites and orangey rusty colours. Now he's got a really nice spiral at the front too. I think his front might be a little bit broken off there. I can tell on the camera, but I couldn't tell with my bad eyes. Now these guys grow from, well, about 60 mil, I think it is, yes, up to 166, so about 16 centimetres. Mine, this one here is 90, so, or 9 centimetres, that's quite a big shell. Now they're found around China, Taiwan, Philippines, Fiji and New Caledonia. And they're similar to a shell actually called the Mitra sticktica. They're shorter, they only come to about that long. Same sort of colours, very similar, but these guys, the Micropapillus grow much bigger. So if you're identifying one of these, your giveaway is the size. So if you think it might be a Mitra sticktica, it'll be shorter and not as long and probably thinner, whereas the Micropapillus is way longer. And they also call this one a papal mitre. That's its other name. So, yeah. Beautiful shell. These are quite common. They're not uncommon. So you can find these. I actually bought this one local, actually, at one of the gift shops that we've got here down on the beach in Harvey Bay. So I don't know whether they've got any at the moment, but if anybody wants one, just let me know and I can see whether they've got any. Okay. Now my last shell before my surprise shell is a little, oh, hang on, I've got to turn the paper over. I know what he's called, I just can't pronounce it, so I've got to read it again. He's actually in the Harpidae or Harper genus of shell. You will have seen some of these before. This one's called a Harper Kajiyama. Sounds a bit, or looks, the writing or the spelling of it looks Japanese to me. Now, this one's only a little one. This one's 40 mil or 4 centimetres. I couldn't find a lot of information on this. This one I do have the data on inside. This one I think, no, I got this one from Ben. I thought it was my grandma's. No, I got this one from Ben. This one comes from the Philippines. Sorry, start again. This one comes from the Sulu Sea, but they can be found around the Philippines. Now, I don't have any data of how big they normally get. Some of the other harpers get quite large, like the Costata and the Armoretta, which I don't have. Oh, actually, no, I might have one. I can't remember. I have to look in the cupboard. Beautiful patterns on these. Absolutely gorgeous patterns. It actually goes to like a yellow colour on the top there. Down to browns and creams and nearly reds, nearly rusty sort of colours. These are quite a common looking shell, or common shell. So this one's a Harper Kajiyama, or Kajiyama. I actually found, I might run and get him, so just excuse me, I'll show you the difference in the colours. I found a shell when I was over in Vanuatu on Mystery Island. This would have to be one of my, well, probably the best shell I've ever found in my whole life. He's a Harper as well, same sort of shell, but look at the difference in colours. This one here is the one I found on Mystery Island over in New Caledonia, Vanuatu. I did ID him actually. I can't remember which Harper he is. I've got to get the little bit of paper out. Hang on. If I can get him out. Oh, he wants to be difficult. Just like... Oh. Okay, I'm not going to spend all day trying to get this out because that's pretty boring for you to watch me getting a bit of paper out of a shell. No, I've got it. Okay, this one is a... Oh, Harper Armoretta. There we go. Armoretta. So I found it on Mystery Island. So this is probably... You should have... Oh my God, I was so excited when I saw it. I couldn't believe my eyes. And I was a bit scared. It wasn't live. It was on the beach, so I didn't kill anything to get it. I looked around behind me and I'm like, is anyone watching? Quick, in my pocket. And in it went. So that one is in the same family, but a different. He's got a little purple tip on him, that one. And that's actually what leads me to believe that he's a Harper Amaretto because of the purple tip in my shell book.